I think 14.
A child, maybe in senior secondary.
From age 7.
18 is, we count 18 to be like adults. So that's when they will know how to use it. They will not go to where you don't expect them to go. By even them, by that 18, you would have even lectured them what they are supposed to see, what they are not supposed to see, what they are supposed to do, and what they are not supposed to do.
No, I don't think it's wise to give them. I feel like at that point of their age, what is necessary for you to give them is like iPad.
They are not really built here in terms of psychology. The child itself has not really found himself or herself. So giving him a phone before that time is like a distraction. It has to be built in terms of virtue. One-on-one with the parents. That is all he needs.
My own child is using a phone now, and she's not even up to 3.
There are so many distractions in the world today. So many persons are distracted because of the usage of phone. And some others, while walking on the way, they don't see an oncoming vehicle and they are knocked down. There are others, when cooking, they allow the food to get burnt because they are on their phones. And the children are watching. Children are fast learners and they are watching what the adults are doing. Because of this, so many of them are distracted and they don't join family time. This brings us to our topic for today. Should phones be left in the hands of children? And if yes, at what age? It's Street Smart on Union Television. And today I won't be doing this alone. We'll be having a very interesting conversation. And I have a co-host in the house. And she is...
My name is Basi Monica Dodoye, and I'm really elated to be here.
I'm very happy also.
And about this discussion, it's like it's already in my head. I can't wait to hear what
it should be in your head because you are a millennial mother. And I know your type.
Why are you judging me already?
Maybe you are one of those mothers that allow their food to get burnt.
Well, no, burnt. I wanted to say proudly millennial, but when you said burnt, I was like, hold that thought. Well. We get around this thing sometimes, you know. We get around them sometimes.
Do you allow phone in the hands of your children?
You want me to answer that?
Let me not stick to that opinion yet. Let's go out there and hear what people will have to say.
I don't even have an opinion yet. But yes, let's hear what they have to say.
As soon as they are very, very smart, because some children can be very smart from the age of 10. Our children, these days children, from the age of 10, they are very smart.
Well, from my experience and what I've seen or what I've known, before they get to teen, let's say between 14, 15, 16, that is the appropriate time, personally, I feel, a child to have a phone.
This world is evolving, you understand? And I have a child, she has a phone. She's not even up to 3 years old. So they learn from these cartoons and the likes, you understand? That's where they learn the English they used to speak most times. I'll advise some parents to get phone for them at that age and restrict some things on that phone. You know, you can restrict so many things on phone. So it should be all about kids, probably cartoons, educational cartoons, something like that. Yeah. But my own child is using a phone now, and she's not even up to 3. I mean, I'm part of it. I don't know about other people. But that's my own opinion.
Well, it depends. Once you know, knowledge is power. Once you realize that that boy is wise enough to handle things, it's more knowledgeable for you to give such a phone.
I don't think there should be a specific age. By the time the child is about 10 or starting secondary school, they should get a phone.
No, I don't think it's wise to give them. I feel like at that point of their age, what is necessary for you to give them is like iPad. iPad, it says that has to do with games, all of this, you know, playing games and all. But an Android phone is not going to be it's going to be too much for them under the age of 18.
Reason why, because number one, they are not really built here in terms of psychology. The child itself has not really found himself or herself. So giving him a phone before that time is like a distraction. It has to be built in terms of virtue, one-on-one with the parents. That is all he needs. Virtue imbibing in that child that, look, these are the virtues of life you should follow. Not necessarily phone yet, but interaction with the parent, because that is social association he or she will have before going into adulthood or preteen.
And non-Android phones, if it's mainly for communication, maybe when you're out of the house and you want to talk to them on phone. But Android phone, just to socialize and interact with people you don't know. In the first place, your underage children, you should know every individual they interact with.
There's many things on phones now. So if you are above 18, at least you can watch it, you can see it. But any age of 15, 16, 13, they can't watch it because there are so many things on social media. It's what you know. So that's it.
Phone is important in the sense that for calling, for texting, maybe in the case of mommy is there and something needs to be done, there is a way it needs, maybe mommy has gone out, there's a way it needs to communicate. And the only access to communicate is through phones. Maybe depending on, because of the situation of things nowadays, that's why parents are skeptical about giving their children maybe Android iPhone. But still, phone is important. It's a means of communication.
You can give them phone, but not to take to school. When they are at home, they can use the phone. Because when I was young, our house will lock us in the room, then she will go away. When we were growing up as a child, she just locked us in the room. There was a day my father just came. I found out that she was not there. We were just there in the room. You just walk out there. We don't know that they can go and meet me. You don't know that she just locked us there. And then there was no phone.
Oh, wow.
This is why I do not like housemates. Now, imagine me going out and then in the morning with my gorgeous look, I offended my housemate. Now, imagine what she would do to my children.
Why would you have offended your household? Why?
There are so many ways you get people offended and you might not know.
Oh, really?
But most times, house girls, they are always agitated.
Okay.
So just imagine that I got my housemaid offended and I left the house without leaving a cell phone with my children. Have you ever thought about what could happen to those children?
Welcome to my world. I told you I didn't have an opinion yet, right? But you're coming to my opinion. I've not said anything, but you're already saying it for me. And then come to think of it, the other man that talked about what did he talk about again? About communicating with the children, right?
Yes.
Phone is very important. Because, and that's actually very valid. That's a very valid point.
Exactly.
Apart from people just feel that phones serve as nuisance, or there's always an adverse effect to phone.
But it's used for communication.
Yes, communication and security too.
Exactly.
So, of course, I've not said anything yet. They're the ones saying it.
Yes. When you're out there and you don't know what is happening in the house, you can put a call across to the children and then ask them how they are faring.
Yes, and no nanny will lock up your children like that woman said.
Exactly.
Right?
You have to sit your children down. You have to talk to them. These things are well outside. Even if you don't show them, they associate with people outside that could have showed them or do one or two. But I just feel that you have to educate them. You have to educate them on what to check. There are bad things. You have to tell them about it. These are the adverse effects or this thing, because you can't control everything.
Train a child the way he should grow. When he's a grown-up, we should be able to determine what he needs to do with the phone. The phone determines is a means to an end. Like what we taught in Canada International. I represent Canada International. We impart knowledge of how to do things in lab. Impart knowledge on what you see. The more you see, the more you discover. The more you discover, determine how knowledgeable you are. Once you have knowledge, you'll be able to decide what to do. So phone is, as a child of God, well-trained, well-equipped. I would say train up a child. It's about training.
It depends on the upbringing. You understand? Most times, you can't see everything. No matter how you are strict, no matter how you restrict them from doing so many things, you understand? The world is evolving and the internet is very, very large.
I think this question has to be something with respect to the parents. You know your kids, you know how mature they are. Some parents just want to because they can afford it or because they want their children to look like their peers. socialization, of course. But I think to a large extent, what we need to do is to understand our kids because we are their parents, understand the level of maturity and the level of formal education we've instilled upon them to act normally and maturely, such that when they are around their peers, they will not misbehave or, as my parents will say, they will not spoil the family name. So based on that, I think it's left to the prerogative of the parents, not me. But if a standard age, I would just say 15.
Do you know that the maturity level of children in the house differs?
Just like what they said, right? Just like what they said. It's true.
Exactly. The maturity that some children at age 3 we display will be much more than a teenage child of 15. And then there are times that a teenage child of 15 will display some level of maturity that will show that he or she is an adult.
Is an adult,
so
right?
a parent will have to weigh all of this, right?
Yeah, they have to. And I think that's where upbringing comes in.
Exactly.
Right? Firstly, I would say that the comparison for 3 years to 18 years is not really ideal. 318, no. Or 315.
But if you see how childish some persons behave, and you see how mature a 3-year-old child behaves sometimes,
right.
You can't help but liking the whole scenario.
If you look at what phones is causing now in the life of children, is alarming, is uncontrollable, is something that has become a distraction in their ways of life. I didn't have an idea of age, even though for me personally, my children are using my phone, but there is caution, there is control on my own part. Okay, even though if you don't give them a phone, they will take your phone and use it. So a parent has to be very careful.
Monitor them, because a lot of things are there in that phone to corrupt them. If you did not monitor them, when they go deeply to social media, you can't control them again.
So you have to monitor them. Maybe before they will go to bed, you can go to their room and check their phone. Check all the things there, the application and everything. So if you see anything that is not even good, you can delete it. And you can even easily advise them.
Supervision, of course, because I know a lot of things happen on social media and all of that. So, but there are also some apps on phone that you can block for a child not to use, and there are some that you can open for a child to use.
I think the parents have to kind of have a close monitoring on what the child does and all that. And when I say from senior secondary, I think it shouldn't be a general thing. It shouldn't be every child that should be given that at that age. So it depends on the character and conduct. That's one or two things that you might observe about your child. If it's a child that is well composed and has a good conduct, and you feel that it might not maybe go into the other side of it, I think that child should have it.
So yeah.
And if you don't give that child the phone, then we had, like someone said,
they will
steal it.
They will steal it, or they will steal from their friends.
Yes, it is even you, their parents, they will steal. It's not that they will steal it, but when you are sleeping, they will carry it and then cover blanket or something, stay under and watch. You know, children are very funny.
That is true.
So it is good to give them the right orientation.
Yeah, before giving them the phone.
Of course.
It still boils down to giving them the phone, right?
Exactly.
So I'm still not saying much, but my points have been, tapped.
Yes.
Hold on, let me just ask. Would you rather allow your child to be without phone or with phone? Let's leave out age. Which do you prefer?
Normal. I'll give them a very small phone, like touchlight phone. So they can use that one. Or I can get land phone, table phone. So they can't watch anything on it. Not like just to receive call and call their daddy, that's all.
Even if it is Nokia 3310. It is better. That
And
one that looks like agege bread.
3310 that does not have any interesting thing inside. See, there's some children learn a lot from the phone, right? We have girls in tech. We have STEM. People taking tech educations online.
Yes.
There are a lot of things to learn online.
Yes,
so
I know
away
that
from the classroom.
using the phone is very educative.
Yes, so
I
why
know
would
of
give
that.
My child 3310? Why?
That one is for communication, and it is for a certain limit, certain age.
Okay.
But when the child attains some certain age limit, you now can give them that big phone. It helps a lot.
It may not be for Nigeria of today, though. In an ideal Nigeria situation now, 3310. When did you use that phone?
I said, even if it is 3310, half bread is better than none.
To me, I don't think, because even my child that is 15, 14, they always operate my phone, but I don't want to give them phone because phone will corrupt them. But if they want to do that, like homework, I used to give them my phone, but I don't want to hand over the phone to them until when they are 18.
You have a laptop, you have internet facility in whatever university you are in. That's fine. Android phone for children who are home is what I am saying is a no-no for me. If you are smart enough to have gotten to university at 15, 16, then you are going to have whatever tool that you need to do well in school. If it's internet facility for your laptop, fine. But the concept of having Android phone is for social media engagement, which is not part of an educational tool.
Be a system. I can give them a system to work with. A system as a substitute, because then I can monitor what they're doing. If you give a child a phone at that age, you cannot monitor or find there could be some apps that can monitor, but it's not the best. I will give the child a system to work with. That will solve the problem because it has everything on the system. Yes.
He can use my phone to do the assignment. I can send my WhatsApp number to their teacher if I thought that they need it, because a lot of thing is inside phone. They can use it to corrupt them. 18 years, at least you have reached enough to make use of it. That is it.
And when they get home now, I'll give them my own phone so they can do it in my front. So after doing that, then I'll collect my phone.
Actually, whenever it has to do something like that has to do with assignments, that has to do with internet. That's why my parents are there. So, like, they usually hand over their own phones for me to do it. Okay, for internet searching, assignments, whatever, I use their phones.
You are the one that will hold the phone. I've been correcting her from the homework. You know, and because thing happened to my own blood sister in Saple when she gave her daughter a phone. So her daughter collected the phone and she was using as assignment. Then she started using it to chat with her boyfriend. So it's not done in that way. Not done.
I can give her my phone or her mommy's phone. So immediately she finishes, and you'll be monitoring her. So immediately she finishes, you collect it.
We are still talking about the phone issue, and I will still take you back to the 3310. Okay. Now, for children, you give them that. But when they attain certain age, you can give them Android phone.
Well, you heard what he said, what a lot of them said. The other man said he will give the child the phone, but under monitoring. Like after the child finish, probably, children have lots of homework these days.
Exactly, assignments.
Most times you need to, assignment, you need to check the internet, you need to go online to see some of these things. So, like the other man said, you monitor the child, give the child the Android phone. You monitor the child. After that, you take back your phone. So, that makes sense,
yes,
right?
It does.
It actually makes sense. Yes. Unlike leaving them without
phone at all.
Look at the other lady that said at 18 she was already surfing the internet for her home for her assignments.
Yes.
So if we don't,
but the phone was not bought for her until she was 18.
I get your point.
Yes. So it's her parents' phone. She uses the parents' phone. Okay. But there was strict restrictions, strict one. Yes. The phone was not bought for her until she was 18. And even after that 18 years, they were still monitoring her. Anytime she's with the phone, they make sure they give her close monitoring. So it's really very important.
And then again, the man that said he will give his daughter at 20 and the son at 19.
And 19.
I don't understand.
I'll give my child a female at the age of 20 years to use a phone. But a male, by 19, he can use a phone. Because why? Because of the kind of life we are now, most of the study they go through now, most of them, the internet and otherwise. Okay, the reason is why she's a female. She can be disturbed by internet and be confused. That's why I wanted that 20s will be okay to know what is good and what is bad. Yeah, the boy, I can control the boy very well because why he's a man like me. But a lady can keep secrets. But a man cannot keep secrets from me. Yeah, I can control him. That's why I trust at 19 it can be okay.
Like, well, he has a valid point there.
Valid point.
Because he said he's trying to protect
the daughter that should be distracted.
Yes, unlike the
son.
But at first, I was looking like 19, 20. What's the difference? 19 for son, 20
just a year difference. What does it matter? Yes.
But he sure has his reasons.
Exactly. He said for the boy, he's with him and he will give him handling because he's a male like him.
Yes.
But for the girl, so many distractions out there. So protecting her from all of that, he will make sure she becomes an adult.
14 or 15, because she's a girl. I would have said maybe like 12 or 13, because I just want to protect her.
Five years old, because you can be able to communicate with your child. And she have a tablet first. Yes, tablets.
It depends on the parent and it depends on the child. If you discover that your child maybe is a serious type, you know that this child can read and understand and is doing well in his studies. From 10 upward, you can give a child the phone.
If I'm the one giving my child phone, that child must be true with her secondary education before giving out the phone. If not, that phone might take a lot of things from her.
I think 14 will be okay with supervision, of course. But at least at that 14 years of age, I believe that it's okay to give a child a phone by that time. Because before 14, he must have known a lot of things. Maybe he'll even be stealing his mom's phone and be checking some stuff and also 14 is fine. 14 is okay.
It's depending on the parents' intuition, and then depending on how the child is brought up, the maturity, then you have to give him under strict supervision. So by that you can control the things he or she sees or engages with, or what you see really I mean it helps to shape who you are.
Except we want to deceive ourselves. We all know that a lot has changed. So the 18-year-old child of 20 years ago is no longer, like, let me say, a child of 13 nowadays has already attained that age of 18 or 20 years ago. So even 16 is still an understatement. So, but I'll just say 16.
We've heard it all from what people have to say out there. So many persons say they give phone to their children because they use it to communicate with them. Important. Other persons said for security reasons. And there are some that say they give phone to their children because it gives them the appropriate education and information needed.
Welcome to my world.
Other persons said they give phones to their children because it helps them to acquire knowledge. Outside the four walls of classroom, yes, there are things that the child needs to learn. Then there are people who also say that there are negative sides to the usage of phone.
Talking about that, I don't think there's anything in life that doesn't have an adverse effect.
It does.
So it's just based on how you use them, how you use that thing.
Yes.
So yes, granted, if you look at it, the advantages to me
it outweighs the disadvantage, and that brings us to orientation.
Yes.
Orientation is key. Is very in a way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. This brings us to the end of our Street Smart today. For more interesting content, follow us across all our social media platforms.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, to turn on your notification bell so that you can get alerts of all our details from Union Television.
And from us, it's bye-bye.